Hello everyone, myself Sarita Nehra from ICT department from Tecnia Institute of Advanced Studies. Today we will discuss about what is website. A website is a collection of web pages and related content that is identified by some common domain name and published on at least one web server. Example of some websites are like Google, Facebook, Amazon, Flipkart, etc. All publicly accessible websites collectively constitute the World Wide Web. There are also some private websites that can only be accessed on a private network, such as some companies' internal websites for its employees only. Public can't access then that private websites. Websites are typically dedicated to a particular topic or purpose, such as news, education, commerce, entertainment, or social networking. Hyperlinking between web pages guide the navigation of a site, which often starts with the home pages. Basically, a website can be of two types. One is static websites and the other is dynamic websites. So now let us discuss what are static websites. Static website is a basic type of website that is easy to create. You don't need the knowledge of web programming and database design to create a static websites. Its web pages are coded in HTML and the codes are fixed, so each page, so the information contained in the page does not change and it looks like a printed page. Now let us discuss what are dynamic websites. A dynamic website is a collection of dynamic web pages whose content changes dynamically. It accesses content from database and content management system, that is CMS. Therefore, when you alter or update the content of the database, the content of the website is also altered and updated. Dynamic website uses client-server scripting, or you can say server-side scripting, or both, to generate the dynamic content. Client-side scripting generates content at the client computer on the basis of user input. Now let us discuss what is client-server computing. In the client-server computing, the client requests a resource and the server provides that resource. A server may serve multiple clients at the same time, while a client is in the contact with only one server. Both the client and the server usually communicates via a computer network, but sometimes they may reside in the same system. Characteristics of web server computing are: the client-server computing works with a system of request and response. The client sends a request to the server and the server then responds with the desired information. The client and the server should follow a common communication protocol so they can easily interact with each other. All the communication protocols are available at the application layer. A server can only accommodate a limited number of client requests at a time, so it uses a system-based priority to respond to the request. An example of a client-server computing system is a web server. It returns the web pages to the client that requested them. Now let us discuss some advantages of client-server computing. All the required data is concentrated in a single place, that is the server, so it is easy to protect the data and provide authorization and authentication. The server need not to be located physically close to the clients, yet the data can be accessed efficiently. It is easy to replace, upgrade or relocate the nodes in the client server model because all the nodes are independent and the request data only from the server. Now there are also some disadvantages of client-server computing. So, let us discuss them. If all the clients simultaneously request the data from the server, it may get overloaded. This may lead to congestion in the network. If the server fails for any reason, then none of the requests of the client can be fulfilled. This leads to the failure of the client-server network. And moreover, the cost of setting and maintaining the client server model are quite high. So now let us discuss some more points on the client server. A client can be a device or a program. A client device is a machine at the end user that use the access the web. Desktop, laptops, smartphones, tablets are some example of devices. A client program is a program that allow the user to make requests through the web. One example of a web browser. A user can request for a web page through a web browser. Moreover, the programs that can get online support, themes, etc. can be also considered as clients. A server is a device that provides services to the client request. The device runs server programs. A single server can provide services to multiple clients simultaneously. Usually, the servers run continuously. There can be a multiple servers in a single machine. For example, there can be both web server and file server running at the same time to serve different clients. It may also be possible to have the client and server at the same machine. So now let us discuss web browser. What is web browser? A web browser is an application software that allow us to view and explore the information on the web. User can request a web page by just entering the URL on the address bar. Web browser can show text, audio, video, animation and more. It is the responsibility of web browser to interpret the text and commands contained in the web page. Earlier, the web browsers were text-based only, while nowadays graphical-based or voice-based web browsers are also available. Now, let us discuss about some scripting languages. Basically, a scripting language is a programming language that employs a high-level construct to interpret and execute one command at a time. In general, scripting languages are easier to learn and faster to code in than more structured and compiled language such as C and C++. Compiled languages are converted permanently into executable files before they run. In contrast, scripting languages are typically converted into machine code on the fly during runtime by a program called an interpreter. Although this approach can cause performance problems because the instructions are not handled solely by the processor, it does make it easier for scripts to work with programs written in other languages. Now, advantages of scripting languages. The first is easy learning. In order to learn scripting languages, there is not much need for knowledge of a web technology. Therefore, these languages enable users to learn code quickly. The next is fast editing. It is particularly efficient since it uses a small amount of data structures and variable. Next is interactivity. It helps to make web pages more interactive by adding combinations and visualizations interfaces. The use of scripting languages is demanded by the modern web pages. It also includes background and foreground colors and so on, which helps to create enhanced web pages. The next point is functionality. Scripting languages contain different libraries which helps to create new applications in the web browsers. They are different from normal programming languages. So here we have discussed some scripting languages and also what are websites. I hope you like and understand this video lecture. Please like and subscribe the channel, and for further videos please subscribe the Tecnia TV. Thank you.